There are, as they say, only two certainties in life: death and taxes. But I'm going to add a third: teacher talk. Now, teacher talk is not some terrible evil that needs eliminating. We need to explain things, to set up tasks, to build rapport, to model language. So I'm not calling for a silent way classroom, although that's been suggested in the past. But I do want to talk about the point where teacher talk stops being helpful and starts becoming a problem, because it's one of the most common issues for newer teachers, especially on CELTA, and also, in honesty, long after that too. The problem isn't just that the teacher is talking a lot, it's what that teacher talk replaces. Every minute you spend talking is a minute that learners are not speaking, not practicing, not making mistakes, not getting stuck and then unstuck, which is where a lot of learning actually happens. Often it's nerves, especially on CELTA. Talking feels safe. If you stop and nobody says anything, you're left standing in the spotlight, and most people's instinct is to fill that silence. Sometimes the teacher just loves the topic and gets carried away. Sometimes they keep asking questions and then answering them themselves after about half a second because the silence feels unbearable. You might laugh at this, but try observing yourself in your next class and you might be surprised. But very often it's actually a planning problem. If learners don't have a clear task or a reason to speak, the teacher fills that space with commentary, just to hold the lesson together. Language isn't learnt just by hearing the teacher talk about it. It's a practical skill, like surfing. You can't learn it if you don't get wet. With a language, learners need chances to use it. And yes, they'll get stuck and make mistakes, but they won't progress without trying again, noticing gaps, experimenting, interacting. The other problem is that too much teacher talk also makes lessons feel heavy. Learners go passive, the pace drops, people switch off, and then the teacher talks more to compensate. A cheerful little cycle. But you might say, isn't some teacher talk useful? Yes, absolutely. Explaining a task, modelling language, checking answers, giving feedback, all of that's fine. The question isn't, did I talk? It's, was my talking helping learners do something useful? Or was it replacing the thing that they should have been doing? And be aware of the trap that's easy to fall into. You say, I'm always asking my learners questions and they answer, so there's not too much teacher talk. But if you're only asking one person at a time, each learner only gets a tiny proportion of the lesson to speak. So what can you do? Give them a task and get them to do it in pairs or small groups. It's not rocket science. A clear, purposeful task creates learner activity and shifts the energy away from you. Instead of explaining a grammar point and asking, does that make sense? Give them something to do with it. Match examples, notice a pattern, solve a problem. Use the language for something real. Keep instructions short. Teacher talk often expands because instructions are muddled. The teacher starts, adds a bit, clarifies, adds a warning, changes direction, and before long the learners are looking at you with a kind of a glazed, confused expression, and you have to start all over again. More talk. So plan your instructions, keep them short, show rather than tell when it's possible. Ask fewer, better questions and then give learners actual wait time. Let them think. Give them time to process. Let them talk to a partner first. That really helps. Use pair work and group work as a central part of the lesson. A general hubbub of noise is often exactly what useful learning sounds like. So plan for lots of this. Record yourself and listen back. This is slightly painful, but it's extremely useful. Teacher talk often feels very different from the inside than it sounds from the outside. So you might think you're giving short, clear instructions and then discover that you've been talking for 2.5 minutes, repeated yourself twice and answered your own question before anyone had a chance to think. This isn't a comfortable thing to do, but it is, I promise you, hugely helpful. Use AI if it helps you plan better. It can suggest discussion tasks, information gaps, role plays, ranking activities, ways to turn a dull topic into a problem-solving task. As always, make sure you check what it gives you. Some AI-generated tasks are excellent and some not so great, but it'll give you a good start. So, to sum up, teacher talk is inevitable and sometimes it's really helpful, but it becomes a problem when it crowds out the learner's opportunity to speak and think and practice. Often the answer isn't just talk less, it's plan better. Give learners a task, make sure your instructions are clear, and build in moments where the learners, not the teacher, are doing the heavy lifting. Remember that the goal isn't for the teacher to sound impressive. Woo! It's for the learners to learn. And that usually means giving them a chance to actually use the language, not just listen to the teacher. If you're doing CELTA at the moment or you're thinking about it and you'd like more help with lesson planning, maximising learning talking time, avoiding common new teacher pitfalls, do have a look at my CELTA preparation materials below. And if you're already teaching and you want practical support and a flexible CPD journey, have a look at the next step as well. It's my supportive teacher community and we're very, very welcoming. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.